The buzzing sound finally stopped. Caleb turned his head for a brief look. She was lying on the small tattoo bed. Her forehead was damp with a thin layer of sweat. "Is it finished?" Sophia asked the question aloud. Caleb nodded, his voice hoarse from disuse. He confirmed that the work was done. His natural voice was a low, gravelly rasp, but this time it sounded weak and tired. Sophia started to sit up. Caleb gently stopped her. He advised her to lie still for a moment. The new tattoo was still weeping fluid. He needed to observe it for a while. "Could I sit up while you observe?" Lying down for so long is uncomfortable. Caleb removed his face mask. He tossed his latex gloves into a wastebasket. He glanced over at Sophia. "The tattooed area cannot touch anything yet. You will not be able to wear a shirt." Sophia nodded in understanding. The design was on her upper back and shoulder. Caleb's female assistant had removed her shirt and bra earlier. She was currently topless. The assistant had wrapped a thin blanket around her. A clip held it together in the back. Only her shoulder area was exposed. While waiting, Sophia decided to chat. She called his name. "Caleb?" He was cleaning his tools without looking up. "Yes?" That young woman with short hair said, "You are not married." The woman she meant was likely Caleb's assistant. Sophia and Caleb had known each other for years. She was his former art teacher. They had not seen each other in a long time. Recently, Sophia found his tattoo studio. She had been wanting a new piece. She discovered the owner was an old friend. For the past few days, she visited often. She watched Caleb work and talked to the staff. She talked mostly about Caleb. Caleb confirmed her statement with a simple sound. "Not dating anyone either?" A faint smile touched Caleb's lips. He walked over to inspect her skin. "Not dating. Why do you ask? Do you like men?" Sophia's question sounded inquisitive, but her gaze was firm. Her eyes were bright and knowing. "Did my assistant tell you that too?" Caleb asked her directly. "Yes." Sophia gave a small, subtle smile. She was nearly 40 but looked much younger. She had long, dark, wavy hair. Her demeanor was graceful, but her personality was direct. Caleb admitted it was true. He explained his preference for men. He gently pressed a clean cloth against her shoulder. He heard Sophia speak again. "I want to introduce you to someone. I hope you will accept my offer." Caleb applied a thin layer of ointment to her skin. He tore off a piece of plastic wrap. He placed it over the tattoo. He asked what kind of introduction she meant. What other kind could there be? Sophia was blunt. "I mean, introducing a potential partner. A blind date. You could call it that." Caleb did not answer. He called towards the door for Maya. "Yes." "Come help the client get dressed." Caleb gave the instruction. "Then take a photo of the tattoo for her." "Got it." The assistant entered with Sophia's clothes. Caleb walked out of the workroom. The conversation was paused. A moment later, Sophia appeared in Caleb's office. Caleb was chugging a glass of water. Sophia pulled a chair up to his desk. The assistant showed me the photo. "I love it." Caleb put the glass down. He wiped a drop of water from his lip. "I am glad you like it. Do not get it wet for 6 hours. Avoid using body wash when you shower. Remember to apply the ointment daily. Do not pick at the scab when it forms." Caleb gave the instructions clearly and concisely. Sophia returned to their previous topic. "So, what do you think? Will you accept my offer?" Caleb held the glass and remained silent. If it were anyone else, he would have ended it. Sophia was his former teacher. She had taught him art for a time. She was only a few years older than him, but she had been a great mentor. Even now, Caleb still called her Ms. Sophia. So Caleb continued the conversation. "Who is it?" "My cousin. He is the same age as you. Caleb asked a very practical question. What does he do for a living? He teaches at a university. Caleb shook his head. He never finished high school. He did not consider himself an intellectual. It is not a good match. He stated his opinion. We are not very suitable. For what reason? We probably would not have much in common. Sophia laughed. You are so young yet so conservative. Do you think he is some stuffy old scholar? Or a bald man in a polo shirt? That is not what I meant. His name is Liam. Sophia said it with significance. He is handsome and he is brilliant. Liam smelled dinner as soon as he entered the yard. A stone table sat in the middle of the lawn. The table was covered with dishes. The housekeeper emerged from the kitchen with a soup tureen. You are home, sir? Liam was a professor at the university. The elderly housekeeper was traditional. She called him sir like an old-fashioned term of respect. Hello, Mrs. Gable. Liam greeted her warmly. Go wash your hands. Dinner is almost ready. So many dishes today? Liam glanced at the full table. Liam's parents lived in a large suburban house. Liam went inside the main house. His mother sat on the sofa, studying blueprints. Sophia is coming over tonight. She said she got a tattoo and wants to show us. A tattoo? Liam picked up a pitcher from the coffee table. He poured himself a glass of water. She is always impulsive. She said an old acquaintance did it. She claims it looks amazing. Liam smiled silently and took a sip of water. Sophia took off her white shawl upon arriving. She wore a dress with a partially open back. Removing the shawl revealed half of the tattoo. The area was still covered with plastic wrap. The skin around the lines was red and swollen. It looked quite painful. Aunt? Uncle? Liam's parents were older. They did not understand youthful aesthetics. They could not find the right words to say. His father asked the most important question. Did it hurt to get that? It was tolerable. Sophia pulled her shawl back up. The tattoo artist is very skilled. Sophia's parents died in a car crash when she was young. Her mother was the younger sister of Liam's mother. She was raised by Liam's parents. They were always kind and open-minded. They never interfered with the younger generation's choices. They felt that if Sophia was happy, that was enough. Liam ate his meal in complete silence. This was his normal way of eating. But tonight Sophia wanted to draw attention to him. Liam. Sophia called his name. Liam looked up. Why are you so quiet? Give me your opinion on my tattoo. Liam swallowed his food before speaking. Is it a killer whale? You can tell? A slight smile played on Sophia's lips. Liam picked up some vegetables with his fork. It looks like one. I quite like killer whales. I like them too. The orca was the main element Sophia requested from Caleb. She also had many other small requests. The final design was an abstract piece. Its form and meaning were both subtle. Does it have a special meaning? Liam asked, playing along. He was not very curious, but Sophia seemed so enthusiastic. He did not want to spoil her mood. It represents freedom and strength. His father nodded. That is a good meaning. Sophia took a business card from her purse. She handed it to Liam. You can go too if you are interested. Liam glanced down at the name on the card. He maintained his professional demeanor. He replied seriously that professors could not get tattoos. Sophia retorted immediately. Who would see it if you got it on your butt? His mother choked on her food, then laughed. What are you saying? Liam had a faint smile as he pushed the card back. Maybe when I stop teaching, I will consider it. Liam was staying at his parents' house that night. His room was in the west wing of the house. Sophia's was in the east wing. Both had moved out of the old house years after college. Sophia entered Liam's room while he was reading student papers. She held a cup of coffee. She placed it on his desk. I do not drink coffee at night. Liam did not look up. Keeps me awake. I made you coffee because I do not want you to sleep yet. You are a healthy young man. Why do you go to bed at a set time like an old man? Sophia looked at him. 35 is not a young man anymore. But it is not an old man either. I do not like coffee. Fine. Sophia did not push him. She picked up the cup and took a sip herself. Liam, I want to introduce you to someone. Liam finally looked up. The lenses of his glasses reflected the lamplight. I am not joking. I have never brought this up before. Sophia's expression and tone were serious. She leaned against the desk, her back to him. I have known him for a long time. He is a really good person. Liam quickly guessed who he was. Is it the artist who did your tattoo? Sophia turned to face him. Aunt has introduced you to a few people recently, right? You have not met any of them? I do not have time. Liam turned his attention back to the computer. Do not give me that. You are just making excuses. Sophia hit the nail on the head. It is a good thing Aunt and Uncle are so relaxed about it. A small smile touched Liam's lips. He said nothing. After a moment, Liam asked a question. Why the sudden urge to set me up? Sophia answered casually. Because I think he is your type. Liam smiled for some reason. How would you know? Just a guess. Sophia winked. When Liam's mother came in, Sophia turned around. Aunt, I have someone I want to introduce to Liam. Oh good. It is the tattoo artist who did my tattoo. A tattoo artist. His mother's steps slowed. She looked at Liam, then at Sophia. As long as he is a good person. Liam? Liam's eyes never left the computer screen. He adjusted his glasses and looked up. His gaze shifted to his mother. Okay. The current project was a complex full-sleeve tattoo. His phone buzzed beside him for a while. Caleb was too focused to answer it. His young apprentice picked up the phone. Master, answer it for me. Caleb's voice was muffled by his mask. His eyes were fixed on the tattoo needle. Leo answered the call. He listened for a moment. He relayed the message to Caleb. Master, it is Mr. Vance. He says a new shipment of bourbon just arrived. He wants you to come over later. Tell him I am busy tonight. I have plans. Caleb's reply was brief. Okay, will do. The client was a young woman. She looked fragile, but she had not made a sound the entire time. She also had not tried to make small talk. Caleb disliked clients who forced conversation. He preferred quiet ones like her, people who did not disturb him while he worked. The girl had been silent for over 3 hours. Now she could not hold back any longer. Her voice was soft. Hey, are you almost done? Caleb grunted in affirmation. Almost. The girl grinned. Finally. My arm is starting to go numb. After finishing, Caleb went to the break room. His phone rang again shortly after. He opened a locker and answered on speakerphone. The caller was the same man, Mr. Vance. What are you doing tonight? I just got off a plane. How long has it been? See, Caleb changed his clothes. He straightened his hair in the mirror. I really have something to do. I already made plans. You have plans? With who? Did you get a boyfriend? No. Then what are you? Going on a blind date. Vance was stunned. Are you serious? His voice was filled with disbelief. After a few seconds of silence, he burst out laughing. I do not believe you for a second, Mr. Caleb. Caleb took his phone to the bathroom. He placed it on the sink. He began washing his hands meticulously. He spoke while washing. I am 35. Is a blind date so strange? No, Caleb. Remember when we first met? People were lining up to date you. You never gave anyone the time of day back then. Now you are telling me you were going on a blind date? Vance laughed again, teasing him. A blind date is great. If you do not find someone soon, Caleb, your sex drive will start to decline in a few years. Caleb did not want to joke with him. My old teacher set it up. I did not want to refuse her. You have to refuse favors like that sometimes. What if you do not like the person, and then they get attached to you? Well, Caleb thought for a moment, then told the truth. She said the guy is really handsome, so I did not refuse. Vance chuckled. I did not know you were so focused on looks. Caleb pulled a small note from his pocket. It had the man's name and number. Liam. Caleb stared at the name for a moment. He murmured to himself, "What a coincidence." "What? His name is the same as my high school class president." "You still remember your high school class president's name?" "I do not even remember if my first love was a boy or girl." Caleb put the note back in his pocket. "I will never forget." Caleb got ready and left. His words to Vance were partly a joke, but mostly they were true. He did not want to disrespect his teacher, and he did care about appearances. He was not an extremist. He did not believe in being single forever. He had just been alone for a long time. He had gotten used to it. Gradually, he lost the motivation to change. They were meeting at a steakhouse. They had not contacted each other yet. Sophia had arranged everything. Caleb arrived a bit early. He sat for a moment before his phone rang. "Hello?" The voice on the other end was low and deep. "Mr. Caleb?" Caleb paused, then nodded instinctively. "Yes, I am Liam. Hello." Caleb replied out of reflex. A short, low chuckle came from the phone. The person responded seriously. "Hello to you too. I am in a meeting right now. It looks like it might run late. I am afraid you will have to wait. I am sorry. It is okay. I will wait for you. I will ask for an extra 10 minutes. If I am not there in 10 minutes, you can go home. We can reschedule." "Okay." Caleb could already sense his gentle nature. He was willing to wait a bit longer. "It is fine. I can wait for you. Okay. See you in a bit." Summer days were long. It was evening, but the sky was still bright. Slow cello music filled the restaurant. Caleb sat for a while, feeling restless. He called over a waiter. "Sir, are you ready to order?" Caleb pointed towards the entrance. "I saw a display case with wine over there. Is it for sale?" "Yes, sir. I would like to choose a bottle." "Of course. Please follow me." The display case held expensive, fine wines. They were mainly for show. Most guests did not choose wine from the case. The waiter wore white gloves. He took out several bottles for Caleb. He introduced each one. Liam arrived at the restaurant within the extra 10 minutes. He found their table number, but his blind date was not there. Liam took out his phone and called the number. Caleb took a long time choosing. He was deliberately slow to kill time. He finally picked a bottle with a high price tag. This brought a genuine smile to the waiter's face. After choosing, Caleb finally held the bottle. The waiter handed it to him. "Sir, would you like to see any others?" Caleb held the bottle by its neck. His other hand supported the bottom. He shook his head absently. His full attention was on the red wine. Suddenly, his phone started ringing. The sound came from behind him. Liam turned his head. Caleb looked up. He saw a man in a white shirt walking toward him. The man held a phone to his ear. He wore frameless oval glasses. He had on a shirt and tie. He was dressed very formally. He must have just come from a meeting. His hair was very dark. Bangs covered his eyebrows, looking soft. The dark hair made his face seem very pale. He was tall and had a clean-cut appearance. Nearly 20 years had passed. His body, features, and demeanor had all changed. But the face before him matched the one in Caleb's memory. Caleb recognized Liam immediately, but he was not sure if Liam recognized him. Liam walked up to him. The phone in his pocket was still ringing. "Caleb?" Liam confirmed. Caleb stared, holding the wine bottle. Then he nodded. He did not reveal his own identity right away. "I'm sorry for the wait." Liam did not seem to recognize his old classmate. He glanced at the wine in Caleb's hand. "Choosing a wine?" "Yes." Caleb felt a bit awkward for some reason. He looked away, avoiding Liam's eyes. The waiter stood by, ready to take the bottle. "Sir, shall I decant this for you?" Caleb handed the bottle to the waiter. He heard Liam say, "Let's go sit down." He followed behind him. They sat down at the table. The waiter presented them with menus. They ordered a few dishes. Then silence fell between them. Caleb could feel Liam's gaze on him. He drank some water, feeling uneasy. "Caleb." Caleb heard Liam say his name and looked up. "Caleb as in the Bible? Rock as in stone?" Liam asked. Caleb nodded slowly. "You look very familiar." The phone on the table vibrated. Liam glanced down at it. His eyes returned to Caleb's. "Do I look familiar to you?" Caleb was quiet for a moment, then nodded. Liam sat still for a long time. He showed no surprise, no gun-call of reuniting with a long-lost classmate. He just smiled gently. He offered the simplest greeting. "Long time no see." Caleb pursed his lips and said softly, "Long time no see. Did you recognize me right away?" Liam asked him. "And you pretended not to know me?" Caleb focused on cutting his steak. He did not know how to explain, so he said nothing. The atmosphere was extremely awkward. A blind date with a high school classmate. It was an absurd situation. Although Sophia was right, her cousin was indeed very handsome. After a long silence, Caleb spoke. "I thought you would not recognize me." His voice was deep and raspy, a magnetic, smoky quality. It contrasted with his handsome features. Liam watched him quietly. He had almost forgotten what Caleb looked like back then. After all, there were no photos. Liam had changed a lot, but Caleb still seemed the same. After looking for a while, memories flooded back. He wore a light-colored short jacket. His hair was permed, slightly curly, and light brown. It was a bit long. Parted on the side, it revealed his forehead. He looked as if he had dressed up carefully. It gave the impression that he valued this date. "I did not recognize you at first glance," Liam admitted. Caleb looked young. Though the same age as Liam, he looked years younger. The waiter brought the decanted wine. He prepared to pour it into Liam's glass. Liam raised a hand to stop him. "Thank you, but none for me." "You do not drink?" Caleb hesitated, holding his glass. "No, I am not much of a drinker." After the waiter left, silence returned. Neither mentioned the purpose of their meeting, until Caleb took a sip of his wine. His mind went blank and he asked a question. "Do you like men too?" Liam nodded. Caleb's mind continued to blank. What a coincidence. Caleb saw a strange, faint smile in Liam's eyes. He saw him look down and chuckle briefly. Liam's voice broke the long silence. "You know Sophia? She was my former teacher." A flicker of surprise showed in Liam's eyes. "Teacher?" Sophia was only 3 years older than him. How could she have been Caleb's teacher? Caleb explained. "An art teacher. She had just graduated from college then. She started her own art class." Liam recalled something. Sophia studied in the country. She worked part-time throughout college. She never asked his parents for money. After graduation, she mentioned starting a business. But she went abroad for further studies after a couple of years. I studied art with her for over a year. Caleb said. At first, Caleb could not afford the tuition. He modeled for her for free to cover the cost. He was a model for 6 months. The Sophia of back then was still very young. Her mind was full of wild, romantic ideas. Of course, this wildness often overwhelmed Caleb. Sophia had once suggested he pose nude. The pay was 10 times higher, but Caleb flatly refused. In short, Sophia was a mentor to Caleb. She was his artistic inspiration. Liam connected this to Caleb's profession. Were you already a tattoo artist back then? By that calculation, Caleb would have been only 20, the same age as Liam. Caleb shook his head. He speared a piece of steak and ate it. He looked down as he spoke. I was still an apprentice then. I could not draw, so I went to learn. He looked up. Tattooing requires artistic skill. Liam hummed in agreement. He looked absently at the wine glass. When he was a freshman in college, Caleb was an apprentice. The year he was a senior in high school, Caleb disappeared. Where did Caleb go? What happened to him later? Given their current relationship, Liam had no right to ask. Are you not married yet? Caleb realized he had asked another stupid question. Would a married person be on a blind date with him? He thought he must be a little nervous. He drained the rest of the wine in his glass. Fortunately, Liam patiently answered his question. No, not married. Caleb's question brought the focus back to their purpose. They remembered this was not a class reunion. It was a blind date. A few years ago, the country's policies had relaxed. Same-sex marriage had finally become a reality. But even now, it was still a relatively new concept. People still cared about others' opinions. Caleb's sexual awakening came at a good time, right around when the policy changed. Before that, he had been confused about relationships, until same-sex marriage was allowed. Suitors began to appear. He then realized his face, often called pretty like a girl's, was popular among gay men. Caleb did not know when Liam discovered he liked men. Caleb glanced at Liam. He was curious about what kind of man Liam would like. Caleb's stare was a bit too direct. Liam caught him looking. Their eyes met. This is my first time on a blind date. I am not familiar with the process. Do we need to introduce ourselves first? Liam's attitude was serious, but Caleb felt he was not interested at all. Caleb mentally debated what to call Liam. He chose what he thought was most appropriate. Professor Liam. He paused. He did not want Liam to think he was being presumptuous. So he explained. Sophia told me you teach at a university. Liam acknowledged with a sound. Are you really here for a blind date today? Liam was puzzled. Why do you ask? A lot of people are pressured into marriage these days. Liam laughed and asked in return. What about you? I am, Caleb said honestly. I have not been in a relationship for a long time. He only told half the truth. He had never been in a relationship. The waiter brought dessert, interrupting their conversation. After the waiter left, Liam continued. I am here for a blind date. I just did not expect to meet you. I am 35, same as you. My profession is a teacher. My hobby is reading books. Caleb was stunned. Is this introduction okay? Caleb could not tell if Liam was serious or joking. It is a bit old-fashioned. Liam picked up his glass and drank some water. I think so too. I am 35. I am a tattoo artist. I do not have any hobbies. Liam put down his glass. He was curious. You do not like tattooing? Tattooing is not my hobby. It is how I make money. Caleb's honesty gave Liam a strange sense of detachment. He saw Caleb scoop up some dessert with a small spoon. After eating the dessert, Caleb's eyes curved into crescents. The detached feeling vanished. The blind date ended early. It did not seem like there would be any follow-up. The timing and the person were just not right. They were former high school classmates, reuniting through a blind date. Talking about the past or the present felt awkward. And back then, their worlds were very different. They were not even familiar with each other, let alone having common topics. The sky had darkened. Liam and Caleb stood outside the restaurant. A faint smell of alcohol lingered on Caleb. Did you drive? No, I took a taxi. Caleb took out his phone. He prepared to call a ride. I will give you a ride home. No need, I will take a taxi. Caleb looked down at his phone. The screen's light illuminated his face. He blinked slowly a few times. Liam looked at his flushed cheeks. He raised a hand to block Caleb's phone screen. I will give you a ride. Caleb looked up at him. His eyes were clear. He did not seem drunk. Liam guessed he just flushed easily from alcohol. His cheeks had two distinct red patches. Caleb spoke after a long pause. Then I will trouble you. After getting in the car, Liam fastened his seatbelt. He asked Caleb for his address. I am not going home. I am going back to the studio. Liam glanced at him. Caleb's eyes were half closed lazily. 34 West Chapel Street. Thank you. Caleb dozed off in the car. When he opened his eyes, they were on a familiar street. Liam's car slowed to a stop in front of the studio. It was not late yet. The studio was still brightly lit. Thank you. Caleb unbuckled his seatbelt. Liam looked out the window. Is this where you work? Caleb got out of the car and walked to the window. He was ready to say goodbye to Liam. Liam sat in the car, looking up at him. Are you still working this late? Not working. I drank. Caleb's voice was deep and hoarse, even more so after drinking. His head was slightly bowed. He looked down at Liam. A curl of hair fell across his forehead. Then why come back here? I am staying at the studio for a few days. Caleb's left index finger rested lightly on the car door handle. Drive safe, master. Leo's voice came from behind. Caleb turned his head. Weren't you on a blind date? How come? Leo walked over, then stopped. He leaned to the side. He saw the person in the car. Liam nodded at Leo. Leo was stunned. Then he smiled and waved. Hello there. Leo walked to Caleb's side. He smelled a faint scent of alcohol. Master, you have been drinking? A little. Leo looked at Liam, then at Caleb. He wondered why he was back so soon after drinks. Caleb turned to Liam. I am heading inside then. Caleb wanted to say goodbye, but he felt they would not see each other again. So he said nothing. He turned and walked into the studio. As he entered, he threw the note from his pocket into the trash. It had Liam's name on it, and his phone number. There were 6 people in the studio, 3 apprentices, 2 assistants, and Caleb, the owner. Leo was the newest arrival, but he was closest to Caleb, mainly because of his lively personality. He was very likable. He knew about Caleb's blind date. Master, was that guy your blind date? Caleb went into the break room. He took off his jacket and sat on the sofa. He closed his eyes. Leo, get me a glass of water. Sure thing. Leo quickly poured a glass of water for Caleb. He pulled a small stool and sat next to the sofa. He is pretty handsome. Caleb opened his eyes and glanced at him. I mean, the guy who gave you a ride back. I think he might be the most handsome of all your suitors. He looks very refined. What does he do? He is not pursuing me. Leo giggled. My bad. What does he do? Caleb sat up and drank some water. A teacher. Wow, an intellectual. Leo dropped out after high school. His family was poor. His parents died early. His sick grandmother was bedridden at home. Poverty from illness meant he could not afford school. His longing for college gave him a natural respect for intellectuals. Caleb's studio had apprentices with degrees. One was even a graduate of a prestigious art school. His artistic skills were far superior to Leo's. But Leo was the one who could please Caleb the most. "Master, why are you back so early? Did not go to a movie or something? We did not even exchange numbers." "What movie? What do you mean? You two did not hit it off?" "We cannot." "Why not?" Caleb spoke his mind. "I am not good enough for him." Leo was stunned. His expression changed suddenly. "What are you talking about?" Caleb found his expression amusing. "You have money, you have looks. How are you not good enough? Status, family background, education, spirit. In many ways, we are not compatible." Leo seemed unable to accept Caleb's self-deprecation. His eyebrows furrowed. "You just met him once. It is too early to conclude." Caleb looked down at the calluses on his fingers. "I met him a long time ago. Many times." Caleb remembered Liam. He remembered his name, his face. He remembered he was very good. Lately, Liam had been visiting his parents frequently. So when he entered the house, he was met with Sophia's questions. "Why have you been coming home so often?" Sophia was sitting at the stone table in the yard. A bottle of sake and a small cup were on the table. The cup was half full. Liam went inside to put down his bag. He heard Sophia call him to have a drink with her. It was September. The nights were still a bit warm. Liam's mother cut a plate of watermelon. She asked Liam to take it out to the yard for Sophia. Liam placed the fruit plate on the stone table. His tie was loosened. The top button of his shirt was undone. His sleeves were rolled up to his wrists. "Are you moving back in?" Sophia took a bite of watermelon. "Why do you have so much free time lately?" Liam took a slice too. "I have a doctoral student this semester. He comes to my place for advice every few days. I am hiding out here for some peace." Sophia chewed on her watermelon, gossiping. "What do you mean?" "I am sensing something forbidden here." Liam said nothing. "Does that student have a crush on you?" Liam did not care. "I do not know. Boy or girl? How does he know where you live?" "A boy." Liam took a bite of watermelon. "Probably asked his dad." "Who is his dad?" "The dean of our department." Sophia laughed. Her laugh had a hint of schadenfreude. You cannot avoid a student seeking advice. That is unprofessional, Professor Liam. A faint smile was on Liam's face. He looked helpless. Who can stand it every few days? Sophia picked up her sake cup, then paused. "Hey, I just remembered. Did you meet Caleb today?" "Yes." Sophia put down her cup. "How was it?" "It was okay." Liam gave a vague answer. "What do you mean, okay? Was there a spark? Did you feel anything?" Liam threw the watermelon rind into the trash. His fingers were sticky. He took a tissue and wiped them slowly. "Were you his teacher?" Well, you talked about that already." Sophia smiled. "I taught him painting. He was young then, in his early 20s. Was he not in school at that time?" Liam looked up at Sophia. "No, he did not even finish high school." Sophia seemed to sense something. "Liam, why are you asking these questions?" Sophia knew Liam well. He was a generous person. He would not care about a partner's education level. He was my high school classmate. Sophia was surprised. "Really? What a coincidence." "I found it unbelievable too." Liam said, "I have not seen him in almost 20 years. What kind of fate is it to meet again like this? What do you think, Professor?" Liam glanced at her. Sophia was so eager to set him up with Caleb. It made him chuckle. He did not offer an opinion. So Sophia pressed him about his feelings for Caleb. Liam replied, "We only met once. What kind of feeling could there be? Your question is unrealistic. Have you not heard of love at first sight? That is more like lust at first sight. Liam's forearm rested on the table. He held a piece of watermelon in his other hand. He ate it slowly. Let me ask you a question, and you answer honestly. I said he would be your type. Was I right or wrong? Liam thought for a moment. He did not hesitate. He nodded frankly, although Caleb's looks were probably liked by most people. The reason Liam was still single was not just his busy work schedule. The main reason was his high standards. Sophia vaguely remembered asking a young Liam about his future wife. He had told her in a childish voice, "She has to be very beautiful." What seemed like a child's joke was actually true, and Liam had stuck to the standard for over 30 years. Caleb certainly met Liam's aesthetic criteria. Beautiful but not gaudy. He seemed approachable, but he actually had a gentle coolness. "See, I told you." Sophia showed a childish pride. "So, what are your thoughts?" "I do not have any thoughts. I do not want to disrupt my current life rhythm." Sophia could understand. Whether two people clicked depended on feelings, not looks. Liam added, "And I feel that dating a high school classmate is a bit, I cannot describe it, feels a bit strange. That is what you call a childhood friend romance." Sophia used a term she learned from somewhere. Liam was more fashionable than her and knew more. Childhood friends have to know each other since they wore split pants. Do not talk nonsense if you do not understand. Sophia laughed out loud. She poured a cup of sake and drank it in one go. Her face was flushed as if she were drunk. No chance to be childhood friends. But there is still a chance for a twilight romance. After that blind date, Liam and Caleb had no further contact. Caleb had thrown away Liam's contact information. He never expected anything more to happen. Liam, on the other hand, was busy with the start of the school year. He had no time for anything outside of work. He only had free time today, so he was in a good mood. And when he was in a good mood, he liked to take attendance. Liam's classes were always full. He rarely took attendance. And when he did, he only called a few names. He was in a good mood today. He even told a few jokes before class. 2 seats were empty in the second to last row. A bouquet of red roses sat on one of the seats. Liam saw it. He put his notes on the lectern. He opened them and said casually, "It is not Valentine's Day, is it?" The students understood his meaning. They all turned to look at the flowers. Laughter filled the classroom. When the laughter subsided, Liam spoke briefly. "Let's take attendance." Liam pulled out the class list from under his notes. "Same old rules. I will skip around. If you have a leave of absence, give me the note now." No one usually skipped Liam's class. Many students even came early to get front row seats. He did not receive any notes. Liam started calling names. Mark Baker. Here. Chloe Davis. Ryan Evans. Kevin Miller. No one answered. Liam looked up. Kevin Miller. Still no response. Liam marked the list and continued. Nathan Wright. The classroom was quiet. Students whispered to each other. 2 people in a row were absent. Liam did not even bother calling a second time. He just marked the list. Professor. A student in the front row stood up. Nathan went to the health office. Kevin went with him. What happened? I am not quite sure. The student pointed to the empty seats and the flowers. Someone sent those flowers to Nathan. He seems to be allergic to pollen. He started having trouble breathing. I saw Kevin take him to the health office. Liam's brow furrowed slightly. Having trouble breathing? Yes. The student nodded. Liam closed his notes. Study on your own for a bit. I will be back soon. The massage therapist's hands were strong. Every press hit the right spot. Caleb lay on the therapy bed. He was comfortably drowsy. The sudden ring of his phone startled him awake. Caleb groggily opened his eyes. He irritably picked up his phone. The therapist lightened his touch. Caleb glanced at the screen. It was an unknown number. Hello. Is this Mr. Caleb? Who is this? I am the school nurse at North City University. Are you Nathan Wright's brother? Caleb gestured for the therapist to stop. He sat up. Yes, I am. What happened to Nathan? He is having an asthma attack. Can you come to the school now? I understand. Thank you. Caleb stood up. Old Joe, let's stop for today. Okay, I will make it up to you next time. The old therapist asked with concern. What is wrong? Did something happen? My brother. Caleb hurriedly put on his clothes. He is not well. He had an attack at school. Oh my, you should hurry over. Fortunately for Caleb, the university was not far. Caleb arrived quickly. Nathan's asthma was a childhood condition. It was not acute. Serious attacks were rare. This was his first time having one at school. The nurse had even called him. Caleb's heart was in his throat the whole way. The university's health office was well equipped. It was as big as a small-town clinic. Caleb was led by the nurse to Nathan's room. It was a false alarm. Seeing Nathan lying peacefully on the bed, Caleb's heart finally settled. Nathan's condition was not as bad as he had imagined. His lips were a little pale. For Caleb, who was used to seeing his brother's attacks, the nurse's call seemed like an overreaction, and the nurse should not have contacted him first. Nathan was talking to a classmate. He suddenly looked up at the door. His eyes curved into a smile. Bro. Caleb frowned. What happened? An attack. Nathan looked as pitiful as a puppy. He just needed a tail. How did it happen? Kevin said, someone sent Nathan flowers. He seems to be allergic. Caleb grunted. He has asthma. Pollen triggers it. Bro. Nathan called out to Caleb. Were you working just now? Did I interrupt your work? Nathan was very good at playing pitiful, and he always succeeded. Caleb knew it was Nathan who gave the nurse his number. Logically, Nathan should have contacted his legal guardians, but he chose Caleb, who had no legal ties to him. It must have been intentional. He and Nathan had not seen each other in a long time. Caleb maintained a cool expression. He walked over and placed his hand on Nathan's chest. Is your chest tight? Nathan shook his head obediently. Did you not bring your medicine? I did. Kevin said he brought it. I was just worried something else might happen, so I brought him to the health office. Caleb turned to Kevin. Thank you. Hey, no need to thank me. It is what I should do. Professor Liam, what are you doing here? Nathan? He is fine, just resting inside. The nurse's voice came from outside. Kevin turned his head and saw the visitor. He greeted him respectfully. Professor Liam. He glanced at Nathan on the bed. Caleb's hand left Nathan's chest. He slowly turned around. He froze when he saw the person at the door. Liam's gaze shifted from Nathan to Caleb. Their eyes met. Caleb unconsciously licked his dry lips. He could not say Liam's name for a moment. Liam wore a black shirt and a gray-blue tie. He was formally dressed with a refined air, but his expression was somewhat weary. Caleb admitted his heart was racing, because Liam's attire had a certain forbidden allure. He was stunned for a moment, until Liam spoke. We meet again. Caleb saw Liam walk towards them. Although his mind was blank, he nodded out of politeness. His movement was a bit stiff. Most university teachers do not remember all their students' names, let alone a professor like Liam who taught various levels. He recognized Nathan's face but did not know his name before, so he confirmed. Nathan Wright? Nathan nodded. Professor Liam, you have asthma? How are you feeling now? I am much better now. Sorry to trouble you. It is good that you are okay. Liam turned to look at Caleb. Caleb had already moved to the side. Nathan also looked at Caleb. Bro, you know the professor? Caleb nodded. Nathan looked surprised. How do you two know each other? Kids should not ask so many questions. Caleb avoided his question. I am 21. Liam glanced at Caleb. He revealed their most recent connection to everyone present. We met on a blind date. Caleb's breath caught for a moment. He turned his head slightly. He did not want to see the shocked faces of Nathan and his friend. He did not know why Liam skipped over the fact that they were classmates and went straight to the blind date. Knowing Nathan's personality, he would be asking questions later. Liam was just checking on Nathan. He had to get back to class. He could not stay long. He looked at Nathan. I have to go back to class. I will not stay. You are not feeling well. You should go home and rest. Okay, Professor. I will have my brother take me home. Nathan seized the opportunity. He relied on his brother. Please grant me a leave of absence. Liam nodded. Okay, I am leaving now. Liam paused as he passed Caleb, as if to say goodbye to him specifically. I am leaving. Caleb still could not say the words goodbye. His lips moved. He nodded silently. Kevin went back to class. Nathan got his wish and went home with his brother. As soon as he got in the car, Nathan could not hold it in. Bro, are you and Professor Liam dating? Caleb did not answer him. He suddenly asked, why did you not leave your parents' number? Nathan's excitement was dampened. He said unhappily, you are my brother. Can I not leave your number? What if I was busy today? What if I had work to do? Nathan was silent for a moment, then said softly, you just did not want to come. Yes, I did not want to come. Caleb said with his deep, raspy voice, speaking harsh words. The ones who raised you for over a decade were not me. They are your parents now. You should tell them first if something happens. Nathan interrupted him. I do not want to talk about this. Caleb fell silent. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. Nathan noticed Caleb was driving towards his home. I want to go to your studio. Caleb did not want to make the atmosphere heavier. His tone softened. I am taking you home to rest. I can rest at the studio too. I feel fine. There is nothing wrong with me. There are too many people there. Bro. Caleb was helpless. He gave in. Whatever you want. Nathan's face immediately lit up with a smile. He was someone who did not respond to force or persuasion. He was Caleb's weakness. Caleb could never win against him. Once the atmosphere eased, Nathan brought up the topic again. Bro, are you dating our professor or not? No. Caleb felt it was a stupid question. Would they be like that if they were dating? The awkwardness was almost unbearable. Caleb stared straight ahead, driving. He asked casually, he is a professor? Yeah, the youngest full professor in our department. Caleb only knew Liam was a teacher. He did not know he was a university professor. Liam himself had not mentioned it. What does he teach? Bro. Nathan's tone was one of exasperation. What kind of blind date was that? How do you not even know what he teaches? Caleb was speechless. Nathan turned his head and asked tentatively, you know my major, right? Caleb said coldly, I do not. Nathan chuckled, knowing Caleb was doing it on purpose. He was not angry. I am studying law. What do you think Professor Liam teaches me? Nathan said, criminal law. He teaches criminal law. I have always wanted to be his graduate student. Nathan added. Caleb grunted. Work hard. Bro, how did you two meet? Who set you up on the blind date? My old art teacher. She is Professor Liam's cousin. Professor Liam's cousin has good taste. Nathan was very sweet, complimenting Caleb in various ways. Bro, is there any hope for you two? Caleb said bluntly. No. Huh? Nathan's face fell. So certain? You do not like Professor Liam? Caleb suddenly felt a generation gap with Nathan. Nathan was young. He seemed to have never been in a relationship. Perhaps that was why his questions were so naive. Caleb chuckled. Is it that easy to like someone? That is not what I mean. It is just. Nathan did not know how to express himself. Many students in our department like Professor Liam. I mean that kind of like, the kind where they want to date him. Both guys and girls. I thought you would at least admire him. I do admire him. Feelings can develop. Bro, you are 35. You can try dating someone. We are not suitable for each other. They had arrived at the studio. Nathan got out of the car. He looked at Caleb from across the car. How do you know if you do not try? I think you two are perfect together. Super compatible. Bro, you are always so lazy. That is why you cannot find a partner. Nathan seemed to have missed a key point. Caleb tried to make him realize it. Can you not tell Professor Liam is not interested in me? Nathan was stunned for a moment. Our blind date was half a month ago. We had no contact before today. We had not seen each other either. Caleb closed the car door and walked towards the studio. He teased Nathan. How many times have you been in love to be a love expert? I was dating before I was an adult. Early love. Nathan followed him. He was eager to defend himself. My first kiss was in kindergarten. Caleb chuckled lowly. You looked like a black potato in kindergarten. Who would want to kiss you? Caleb rarely smiled in front of Nathan. When he did, Nathan would laugh too. You are talking nonsense. I was very handsome in kindergarten. Do you know why I had an attack today? It was because someone sent me flowers. Do you know what that means? It is obvious. Leo came out from the back room. Master. The smile on Nathan's face vanished instantly. Leo greeted him. Hey Nathan. Nathan grunted stiffly. Leo smiled obediently. Long time no see. What brings you here today? I just felt like coming. Leo said, oh. He looked at Caleb. Master, a client from out of town is here. He said he has an appointment with you at 3. Yes, I know. Just hang out. Caleb told Nathan. If you get tired, go rest in my room. Got it. Do you want some water, Nathan? Leo asked. No thanks. Leo used a small cartoon watering can to water the plants on the counter. Nathan stood with his arms crossed, watching him. He said faintly, Are you not an apprentice? Why are you always doing assistant work? These plants belong to the master. They are very delicate. They need to be taken care of. Nathan walked up behind him. Is this how you win my brother's favor? Leo was stunned and turned around. He stared at Nathan for a few seconds, then chuckled. I see why you are always scowling at me. I thought I did something to offend you. Nathan's mouth turned down, his eyebrows furrowed slightly. Leo turned back and mumbled to himself. How can someone so educated be so dumb? Nathan's arm wrapped around Leo's waist. He slammed his hand on the counter. What are you mumbling about? Nathan. Leo continued watering the plants with his back to him. The master is your brother, not mine. Leo had been learning from Caleb for over a year. Though it was not a short time, he was still new. However, this newcomer was highly regarded by Caleb. Everyone in the studio knew the boss was a man of few words. He was only close to Leo. That closeness was not in his actions. It was in the ease and gentleness in his eyes. Nathan was generally friendly, but he was cold towards Leo. Every time he came to the studio, he would act superior to Leo. This confused Leo. He could never figure out what he had done to offend him. Caleb treated Leo like his own. Anyone could see he treated Leo better than his own brother, Nathan. It was as if Leo was his biological brother. And Nathan was a bonus prize from a phone plan. Nathan's dislike for Leo was partly due to this. But it was not the main reason. He was not a child anymore. He would not throw a tantrum because his brother favored someone else. He looked down on Leo purely because he thought he had a bad character. He was not as innocent as he appeared. Nathan had seen Leo at the university before. He was with one of Nathan's junior classmates. Nathan and that junior were in the same debate club. At that time, a student mentioned the handsome guy who often visited the junior. The junior explained that the handsome guy was his boyfriend. Nathan then understood. However, not long after, on a day Nathan visited Caleb's studio, he saw Leo being held by another man at the end of the street. He was shocked. He only glanced quickly before running into the studio. After that, Nathan's opinion of Leo completely changed. He thought he was a little fox who pretended to be good in front of Caleb. Even now, when Leo reminded Nathan that Caleb was his brother, not his, it did not resolve the real conflict. Later that day, Leo gave Nathan a can of iced Coke. Nathan saw it as a cheap attempt to please him. To show his good manners, he accepted it. He was very thirsty at that moment, and he loved Coke. Leo probably learned this from Caleb. After all, his specialty was pleasing people. Sophia had not been to the studio for a long time since getting her tattoo. She suddenly visited one day. She also brought a friend who wanted a tattoo. The sky was gray and gloomy. The air was stuffy, as if it was about to rain. In the workroom, Caleb was sketching a client's design. A clap of thunder sounded outside. He paused and looked out the window. Knock, knock. Someone knocked on the door. Come in. Maya opened the door. Mr. Caleb, MS. Sophia is here. Sophia emerged from behind Maya. A young woman followed her. It has been a while. I am glad you still remember me. Sophia smiled at Maya. Thank you for letting me cut the line. Maya waved her hands. You are welcome. Sophia's friend asked softly. What does cutting the line mean? You need an appointment to get a tattoo from the master here. You are lucky today. You owe me dinner. No problem. Sophia walked towards Caleb. Are you busy? Caleb put down his pencil. Working on a client's design. The friend I mentioned who wants a tattoo. Sophia pointed to the person behind her. I brought her here today. Tell him what you want. Sophia said to her friend. Caleb organized the drafts on his desk. He asked, Are you bringing your own design? Or do you want an original? The person laughed. I specially asked Sophia to bring me to you. Of course I want an original. My original designs have a very strong personal style. You can take a look before you decide. Caleb instructed Maya. Show her the photo album. Okay. Sophia's friend sat on the sofa and opened the album. It was full of Caleb's work. She did not seem to like the style. Halfway through, she murmured, This style does not seem to suit me. She looked up. She smiled at Caleb. I like something softer. These are too cool and edgy. We have artists who specialize in a softer style. I think the one you did for Sophia is great. It is very gentle. Caleb understood her implication. She had chosen him and did not want to switch. Have you thought about what you want to get? Caleb asked. A theme, an emotion, or specific elements. The friend was confused. It is that complicated? Caleb had a headache. He disliked clients who came in on a whim, just for the novelty of it. They did not know why they wanted a tattoo, or what they wanted. In the early days when Caleb needed money, he took any job. Now that he had capital and skill, he had become picky. He did not only take complex jobs. He took simple ones too. He was picky about those who did not know why they were there. If this person was not Sophia's friend, Caleb would have sent her away. Caleb was tired of explaining. He said, "First, think about what you want to get." Sophia could not stand it anymore. "You have to tell him what you want. Then he can design it for you." The friend was lungda. "I will think about it." About 5 minutes later, the friend had an idea. "Sophia's tattoo is a whale." Sophia corrected her. "A killer whale is a dolphin." The friend glanced at her. "Then I will get a whale too." "I told you it is a dolphin." The friend could not help but laugh. "How about a humpback whale?" Caleb said, "It is up to you." "Then let's go with that." "You are so casual." Sophia teased her. "Do you need to draw a design first?" The friend asked Caleb. "How long will it take?" "It depends. Yours will take about 3 or 4 days." "That fast?" The friend was a bit surprised. "Leave your contact information. I will notify you when the design is ready. Can you send it to me on WeChat? I am going out of town for a few days. I might not have time to come over." Caleb shook his head. "No, you must come to the studio to see it in person." Sophia explained, "It is to prevent design leaks. It is a rule. If you do not have time, come back after your trip." At 5:10 p.m., the door to the criminal law professor's office was knocked. "Come in." Liam was reading a document and did not look up. Nathan entered. He called out, "Professor," and walked to the desk. "This is the paper I did not turn in." Nathan placed the paper on the desk. Liam grunted, still not looking up. "Then I will be on my way." Liam seemed to recognize the voice. He finally looked up. He bent his index finger and pushed his glasses up. "Yes, Professor." Liam put down the document. He picked up Nathan's paper. "I was sick and went home the day you assigned it. This is the one I made up." Liam grunted again and put down the paper. He held his pen and thought for a moment. He did not say anything. Nathan was unsure of what he meant. He asked hesitantly, "Professor, can I go now?" Liam held the pen between his fingers. He rested his hand on the desk. "Wait a moment." Nathan stood still. "I want to ask you something." Liam said, "Go ahead." "Your brother is named Caleb." "Yes, that is right." Hearing Liam talk about Caleb, Nathan became excited. His eyes lit up. "Is he your biological brother? Why do you have different last names? Did you take your father's and mother's names?" Nathan was quiet for a moment. He said, "Professor, my name used to be Caleb. Caleb is my biological brother. Same parents." Liam looked at him. He seemed to be waiting for him to continue. "Are you very interested in him?" Nathan asked, overstepping his bounds. Liam told him Caleb was my high school classmate. Nathan was a bit surprised. "So I am curious about what happened after he left school. He did not continue his studies, did he?" Nathan's head slowly drooped. "Yes. Caleb left school at the beginning of his senior year. In Liam's distant memory, Caleb's grades were excellent. He was just a bit withdrawn, so he had a low presence in the class. Liam remembered he had a bad temper. The few times he stood out were for fighting. He was criticized by the school." Liam sensed a hint of pain in Nathan's expression. He frowned. He did not want to ask further. Before he could speak, he heard Nathan say, "My original name was Nathan Caleb. I was fostered by my current parents when I was young, so I took their last name and changed my name. When I was little, my mom tried to drown us both in a river. I survived. She died. After that, we had no one. My brother dropped out of school. I was too young to remember much. My brother raised me for 2 years. Then he fostered me to my current parents." Liam watched him without a word. Nathan stood quietly for a moment, then sighed. He confessed, "Actually, I remember a lot of things, but I cannot say that. It would hurt my brother. How could one easily forget memories of death?" Professor, my brother is a good person. Nathan smiled. He has been through a lot. He knows how to care for people. He was not well off before, but he is quite wealthy now. He is also good-looking. Liam chuckled. What are you trying to say? Nathan blinked his eyes and said directly, I am saying he is very suitable for marriage. Liam thought to himself, you really dare to say that? Liam's phone on the desk started vibrating. The caller ID was Sophia. He picked it up. Liam, are you getting off work soon? Liam glanced at his watch. Yes, soon. It is raining outside. I did not drive. I am going to Ants today. Can you give me a ride? Where are you? I will send you my location. Liam hung up the phone. Then, Professor, I will be going. Okay, it is raining outside. Do you have an umbrella? Nathan shook his head. Liam pointed to the umbrella stand by the door. Take mine. Do you not need it? I do not. Thank you. I will return it to you another day. Liam followed Sophia's location to a familiar street. He later realized the address was Caleb's tattoo studio. Liam finally found a parking spot. A light rain was falling. He walked into the studio under the fine rain. Hello. Do you have an appointment? An assistant came over and asked. Liam wiped the rain from his eyelashes. No. Are you here for a tattoo? The assistant asked again. No, I am looking for someone. Who are you looking for? The studio had 2 floors. Both floors had workrooms. Tattoo artists were working inside. Liam glanced inside. A familiar figure came out of a workroom on the first floor, then walked into the adjacent bathroom. I am waiting for someone, Liam said to the assistant. Okay, please have a seat on the sofa. Liam sat down on the sofa. Shortly after, the person from the bathroom came out. His face was wet. His curly hair was pushed back. Water droplets clung to his eyebrows. He walked to a large potted plant by the workroom door. He flicked his hands. Water droplets sprinkled onto the green leaves. Caleb might have caught a glimpse of him from the corner of his eye. He suddenly turned his head. A quick glance. In Liam's eyes, Caleb seemed anxious. His expression was flustered. He had been walking briskly, looking busy, but he was still dressed stylishly. His hair was well-styled. His clothes were fashionable. Caleb nodded at Liam. His lips curved slightly, a hint of a smile. Nathan said Caleb had been through a lot, but Liam felt Caleb cherished life more than anyone he knew. He enjoyed life freely and passionately. Caleb walked up to Liam. What are you doing here? Sophia asked me to pick her up. Caleb turned and looked out the window. The rain was getting heavier. From this angle, Liam could see a water droplet on his chin. It fell as Caleb turned his head. Caleb's face was still wet. Liam took a beige handkerchief from his pocket. He handed it to Caleb. The handkerchief matched his shirt. Caleb noticed Liam was wearing a different tie, a casual style that matched his shirt. Caleb's mind wandered for a moment. How many different ties does Liam have? Caleb stood frozen. He did not know whether to take it or not. Perhaps for Liam, this was a normal, habitual act of kindness. But Caleb felt a hint of ambiguity. Caleb hesitated for a moment. He thought refusing would seem less poised. So he reached out, trying to act natural. He took it. Caleb gently patted his damp face with the handkerchief. He held it in his hand. He considered whether to wash it and return it to Liam, or buy him a new one, but either option seemed awkward. So Caleb started to feel annoyed. The studio walls were covered with large photos of tattoo designs. The style was similar, clearly from the same artist. Are these all your work? Liam asked, looking at the photos on the wall. Yes. Caleb's work had a distinct personal style. Lots of geometric shapes and lines. And Liam noticed Caleb often used water as an element. Almost every work had some form of water. Subtle, not taking up much space. The sound of the tattoo machine was constant. Amidst the buzzing, Liam heard the sounds of Caleb's daily life. "Where is Sophia?" Liam asked Caleb. Caleb still held the handkerchief. "In my office." As he spoke, Sophia and her young friend came out of the workroom. Sophia called out his name. Sophia's sharp eyes noticed the handkerchief in Caleb's hand. She smiled secretly but said nothing. The sound of rain outside grew louder. Sophia urged Liam to go home. Caleb seemed to have something to say. He stopped Sophia as she was about to leave. "Ms. Sophia, what is it?" Caleb hesitated for a moment. Sophia had an art exhibition in the city center soon. Caleb wanted to go, but he did not have an invitation. He wanted to ask Sophia if she could get him in, but he felt embarrassed. In the end, he shook his head. "Nothing. If you have something to say, say it. It is nothing important." Sophia took the umbrella Caleb gave her and ran to the car. Liam said goodbye to Caleb at the door. They stood under the eaves. Liam held out his hand to Caleb. He wanted his handkerchief back. Caleb held it tightly. "It is dirty. I will buy you a new one." "No need. I prefer used ones." Caleb did not want to do the silly thing of washing and returning it. Did he have to meet Liam just for a handkerchief? "Let me buy you a new one," Caleb said earnestly. Liam called his name. Caleb looked at Liam. His face showed some difficulty. Liam glanced at the handkerchief clutched in his hand. He reminded him, "Do you not know you cannot just give someone a handkerchief?" The handkerchief suddenly felt hot. Caleb's hand flew open. It almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, he caught it quickly. Caleb immediately stuffed the handkerchief back into Liam's hand. He was annoyed and mumbled, "How old are you? So superstitious." Liam slowly folded the handkerchief. He smiled faintly. 35. It is normal to be superstitious. His name was embroidered on the handkerchief. Leaving it with Caleb was indeed inappropriate. Indeed ambiguous. Caleb might not have noticed the name on it. If he had, it would have been even hotter in his hand. "I am leaving." Liam put the folded handkerchief in his pocket. "Do not give your handkerchief to others so easily in the future." Caleb teased him playfully. "What if they ask you to marry them?" Liam smiled. He said casually, "Then you would be the first candidate." With that, Liam turned and walked into the rain, leaving Caleb standing there in a daze. Caleb wanted to remind Liam not to flirt so casually, but Liam was already gone. Recently, Liam's marriage had been a hot topic at the family dinner table. Today was no exception, especially after Sophia had introduced someone to Liam. His parents' attitude changed immediately. They were no longer so relaxed. Liam's mother put some food on his plate. "What happened with that young man Sophia introduced you to?" "Nothing happened." "You did not continue seeing him?" Liam drank some soup and shook his head. His mother looked worried. She turned to Sophia. "Did you not say he was a good person?" "He is a good person. Your son has high standards." "He did not like him." His mother turned to Liam, her tone slightly blaming. "You are always like this. You barely talk to someone, and you say you cannot connect." Liam argued, "Mom, when did I? You only met him once. How do you know what kind of person he is?" Liam took off his glasses and pinched the bridge of his nose. "Can you please not listen to Sophia's nonsense? When did I say I did not like him?" His mother glanced at Sophia. Sophia held her bowl and smiled. "I exaggerated. That is called slander." Liam put on his glasses. He said, "But you really did not like him." Sophia said intentionally, "And it is all about chemistry. If there is a connection, it will work. If not, it will not. What does that young man look like?" Sophia became excited. Incredibly handsome. She took out her phone. Let me show you a picture. He is no worse than your son. Sophia showed Liam's mother a picture of Caleb. She adjusted her glasses. She looked closely at the phone. She passed it to Liam's father. He is handsome, look. The picture was a candid shot Sophia took of Caleb working. Liam's father had a question. How old is this young man? He must be a few years younger than Liam, right? Sophia smiled. Uncle, take a guess. Early 20s? Liam's father frowned. No, that is too young. A whole generation younger than Liam. Liam's age was unintentionally insulted. He chuckled helplessly. Do I look that old? It is not that you look old. Liam's father said seriously. It is that this young man looks really young. Dad, he is the same age as me. This young man. The words made Sophia laugh out loud. Liam's father looked at the picture in disbelief. He looked so young. I thought he was a college student. He returned the phone to Sophia. Your aunt said he is a tattoo artist? Yes. What is his family situation like? He has no parents, just a younger brother. The brother was adopted by another family over a decade ago. Liam's father and mother fell silent. The family situation was indeed a bit complicated. Liam glanced at Sophia and asked subconsciously, How do you know so much? Sophia seemed to sense the emotion in Liam's words. His tone, his gaze. It was as if he were asking, Why do you know and I do not? Sophia asked intentionally, Did he not tell you these things? Liam saw through her word game. He said lightly, We are not that close. Yes, we are that close. So I know. Was he not your student from a long time ago? Did you not just meet again recently? Liam was still being serious. Liam. Sophia could not help but laugh. Are you being serious? Liam's mother was concerned. What happened to his family? How did his parents die? And his brother? And it is a long story. And it is his private matter. Sophia glanced at Liam. Liam is not interested in him right now. It is not right for us to ask so much. Liam's mother nodded. That is true. Let me see that picture again. She asked Sophia for Caleb's picture. Sophia smiled. Still looking? I will just take another look. He is handsome. Before Liam left, Sophia handed him something. What is it? Liam took it and looked. It was 2 invitations to an art exhibition. The invitation had Sophia's pen name, see. Your exhibition? Next Saturday. Why give me 2? Sophia tapped the invitation with her finger. These are the last 2. I deliberately did not save one for Caleb. Liam took a moment to react. He looked up at her. Can you please be a decent person? It is my exhibition. I can give invitations to whoever I want. Sophia's intention was clear. She knew Liam was smart, so she did not hide her intention to set him up with Caleb. Of course. Sophia smiled. You can also choose to give the invitation directly to Caleb. Liam said that and got into his car. Sophia waved at him with a smile through the window. Liam put the invitations in the glove compartment. 10 minutes later, the car drove into the underground parking garage. Liam parked the car. He sat quietly in the car for a while. He took out the 2 invitations and looked at them. He took out his phone and dialed Caleb's number. Caleb had just finished showering. He heard his phone ringing as he came out of the bathroom. The number looked familiar. He answered the call. Not asleep yet? Caleb was slightly taken aback. He sat on the bed with a towel. He answered naturally, not yet. He had thought only he was determined to sever all contact. Liam wanted to call him. He just called so casually, without even needing a greeting. Sophia has an art exhibition next Saturday. I have 2 invitations. Do you want to go? Caleb's brief silence made Liam doubt himself. The voice on the phone sounded hesitant. "I thought you liked art exhibitions." "Want to," Caleb replied. Liam's work schedule was not as flexible as Caleb's. Even though it was a Saturday, he had many things to do at the university. They agreed to meet at the exhibition at 4:30 p.m. Caleb arrived at the university early. He parked his car at the south gate. He sat in the car and waited for Liam. Caleb did not have Liam's WeChat, so he sent him a text message. He said he was waiting for him at the south gate. Liam was the youngest full professor in his department. He was young but also very busy. Caleb received a reply from Liam. The situation was the same as last time. Liam had a last-minute short meeting. He would be late. Liam. Sorry? Caleb. It is okay. I will wait for you. Liam. Come up. Caleb? Liam. Do not wait at the gate. Go to my office. Caleb wanted to reply no need. Liam had already sent the office location. He also sent another message. I do not know how long the meeting will be. Come up first. It was hot. Running the AC in the car was not ideal. Caleb thought for a moment and got out of the car. The university was very large. The south gate was near the law school. Caleb asked a passing student for directions. He quickly found the law school building. Liam's office door was closed. Caleb knocked, but there was no answer. So he stood at the door for a while. A teacher passed by holding a stack of documents. Caleb made eye contact with him. The teacher suddenly stopped and asked, "Student, what are you doing?" Caleb thought he must look suspicious. He also thought, I do not look that young. He looked down at his clothes. A light gray stand-collar shirt and black pants. Not very student-like. But the other person treated him like a lost student. He continued, Are you looking for a teacher? Caleb said, I am looking for Professor Liam. The teacher laughed. He pointed to the door behind him. This is his office. Caleb eventually pushed the door open and went inside. He did not expect Liam to have a private office. There was only one desk. A black leather sofa was in front of it. The air conditioning was on. It was very cool. Caleb wanted to sit down, but the only sofa was covered with documents, neatly stacked, but completely full. The only other place to sit was Liam's office chair. But sitting in someone else's workspace was rude. So Caleb decided to stand. There were no plants in Liam's office, but the air was fresh. He probably did not smoke. Unlike Caleb's workspace, which always had a faint smell of tobacco, Caleb stood for about 10 minutes. His legs started to ache. He thought he should have waited in the car. He finally sat down in Liam's office chair. Caleb only sat on the edge of the chair. His back was straight. He played on his phone. Soon, there was a knock on the door. Caleb did not say anything. He pretended no one was inside. But the person outside knocked a few times and then came in. Professor? Caleb looked up from his phone. He made eye contact with the young student at the door. The student's expression froze. His brow furrowed slightly. His eyes were questioning. What are you doing? Caleb put away his phone, still sitting. I am waiting for Professor Liam. Why are you sitting in the professor's chair? The student came in holding a stack of documents. He had an air of ownership. Caleb disliked his pretentious attitude, but he still explained politely, the sofa is full of things. There is nowhere else to sit. You still should not just sit in the professor's chair. The student's expression was serious. He was puzzled. Why are you not getting up? The student's aggressive tone made Caleb's face turn cold. Where is Professor Liam? Why are you here if the office is empty? I told him to be here. Liam's voice came from behind. Caleb's gaze went past the student to the door. The student turned his head and said respectfully, Professor. What is it? Liam walked over, holding a file. He looked at Caleb. He saw Caleb sitting stiffly in the chair. "The 2 cases you mentioned before, I have some questions about them." Liam put the file on the desk. He looked down at Caleb in the chair. Another time, Liam picked up the cup next to Caleb. His middle knuckle accidentally brushed against Caleb's hand. Caleb pulled his hand back. "I do not have time right now." Liam took a sip of water. He said to the student. The student glanced at Caleb, then back at Liam. "Then I will come back another time. Sorry to bother you." Caleb had been sitting in Liam's chair the whole time. The student left with an even more confused expression. But he did not say anything else. Caleb stood up and immediately explained. "The sofa was full of documents. I had nowhere to sit, so I sat here." Liam grunted and asked, "Why are you so tense?" "He is just my student." "I know." Caleb thought to himself, "I am tense because of you. Your student has quite an attitude." Liam heard the implication in his words and smiled. "You look young." He thought you were a student. "He seems very protective of you." Caleb looked at Liam. "This kid must really admire you." Liam's face was expressionless. His tone was almost indifferent. "Maybe." Liam glanced at his watch. "Wait for me for a moment. I am going to change." "What is wrong with what you are wearing?" Caleb quickly scanned Liam from head to toe. He said casually, "Sophia does not like it when I wear shirts. She will say I am ruining her mood." Caleb looked confused. "Why? You look handsome." Liam smiled at Caleb's unintentional compliment. "She is a strange person." Liam changed into a casual t-shirt. He looked much younger. Caleb's car was left at the south gate of the university. He took Liam's car to the exhibition. In the evening, there were not many people at the exhibition. Sophia was nowhere to be seen. Tattooing had taught Caleb to be focused. He admired the paintings by himself for a while. When he came back to his senses, Liam was gone. Liam was not an expert in art. Neither was Caleb. He was just a semi-professional who had studied painting for 2 years. So they did not talk much. They just appreciated the art quietly. You look at what you like. I look at what I like. And so they got separated. Caleb found Liam by the time Sophia was with him. They were talking quietly. They were looking at a painting on the wall. Caleb could vaguely hear their conversation. "I thought you would not come. But you did. No need to waste an invitation. But you do not like my paintings." Sophia turned to look at Liam. Her lips curved upwards. "You gave me 2 invitations. Did you not want me to come with him?" Caleb stood there in a daze for a moment. He quietly turned and left. Liam ran into Caleb in the bathroom. He was washing his hands at the sink. "Sophia is here." Liam walked to Caleb's side. "I was looking for you. I could not find you." Caleb grunted and turned off the faucet. He turned around. He looked like he had something to say. Liam sensed his strange mood and asked, "What is wrong?" Liam, "Yes, go on. I know MS. Sophia wants to set us up." Caleb looked at him. "If you do not like it, do not force yourself." Caleb's deep, raspy voice always had a melancholic quality. His expression was calm, but the sadness in his words was undeniable. "I do not like to force things," Liam said to Caleb, looking at an art exhibition with an old classmate. "I do not call that forcing things, but I will misunderstand." The old classmate relationship was always insignificant to Caleb. If they had not met on that blind date, their lives would never have crossed paths again. His past had no fond memories. He had lost contact with his old classmates. Having an outstanding old classmate like Liam was lucky, but Caleb did not need an old classmate. So everything Liam did as an old classmate was meaningless. Caleb's life path had always been opposite to Liam's. This meeting was like an accident. Misunderstand what? Liam asked. Misunderstand that you want to take things further with me. So, do you want to take things further with me? It sounded like a confession, but Caleb knew it was just a question. Caleb did not deny it immediately. He said ambiguously, I do not know. Liam was outstanding and handsome. With the filter of high school memories, it was not strange for Caleb to have a good impression of him. Caleb had never been in a relationship. Liam was a perfect romantic partner in every way, but Caleb was too rational. His thoughts were too selfish and absolute. He unilaterally denied any possibility of a relationship with Liam, so he did not want Liam to give him hope. The invitation to the art exhibition had shaken Caleb's rationality, but the conversation between Liam and Sophia had brought him back to reality. Caleb knew he was not young anymore. He was used to being alone, but he did not enjoy it. Especially after meeting Liam, he realized how many years he had lived alone. Alone, chasing after the rest of his life. Maybe people are like that. When you are used to it, you can endure anything. Once the original state is broken, you become lost. Caleb said it again. There was a moment of silence between them, until Liam spoke. Let me know when you know. Caleb looked up at him. The exhibition is closing soon. Do you want to see more? They stayed until closing time. Liam was going to drive Caleb back to the university to get his car. Caleb said to him, Can you take me back to the studio to get something first? I will not go back to the studio then. I will drive home from the university. This was Liam's third time at Caleb's studio. The studio door was translucent. The young assistant inside saw the familiar car. She immediately peeked outside. Caleb got out of the car. He heard someone call him from behind. The voice was deep and old. Caleb. Caleb turned his head. He saw the person and called out, Mr. Right. Liam glanced in the rearview mirror. He saw half of a man's body. How have you been lately, Mr. Wright's face still had that polite smile. Caleb said, I am doing well. How is your health? I am fine. I was in the area for business. I thought I would stop by and see you. Mr. Wright glanced at the person in the car. This is my friend. He is Nathan's professor, Professor Liam. Mr. Wright was a bit surprised. Really? He hurried to the window. He nodded repeatedly at Liam in the car. Professor Liam, hello. I am Nathan's father. Liam nodded. Hello. Caleb asked Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, are you here for something? Mr. Wright quickly turned his head back. Nothing, I was just passing by. Mr. Wright turned his head back again. Professor Liam, is Nathan doing well in school? University is not high school. Liam did not know how to answer this question. He answered truthfully. I am his course instructor. I do not have many of their classes. I do not know much about Nathan's situation. He paused for a moment. He added, the paper he submitted to me had some interesting ideas. Really? Mr. Wright showed a proud smile. We have never had to worry about his studies. He said he wanted to get into North City University and study law. He said he would, and he did. His mother and I did not have to worry at all. Mr. Wright talked on and on. The topic was always Nathan. He was not so talkative with Caleb. It was Liam who opened him up. But Liam was not very talkative. He just listened quietly. So Mr. Wright gradually quieted down. He stopped rambling. Am I keeping you from your work? Liam shook his head. I will not bother you anymore. You are busy. Mr. Wright turned to Caleb. Caleb, I am leaving now. Okay, take care of yourself. Caleb went into the studio to get something. He returned to Liam's car. Liam started the car. He drove towards the university. On the way, Liam asked Nathan's father. His adoptive father? Caleb turned to look at Liam. Nathan told me, Liam said. But I am sorry, I was the one who asked him. Why did you ask? Curiosity. I was curious why you suddenly disappeared in your senior year. Caleb felt a mix of emotions, a strange feeling he could not describe. So Liam still remembered he left school in his senior year. Liam's memory of Caleb seemed to be more than he had imagined. I dropped out of school. Caleb's tone was flat. His voice was still low and hoarse. Liam hummed softly. Can you tell me what happened? Class president. Caleb suddenly called him that. Pushed them both back to that summer 20 years ago. It was late summer then, the beginning of their junior year. Caleb had transferred to Liam's school from another city. He only spent a short winter and spring there. He left again when the next summer came. What? Liam smiled. I remember I used to call you that. Yes. I thought you did not know my name. Liam's tone was accusatory. You never called me by my name. Caleb did not want to tell Liam that he was afraid to. He was even afraid to talk to him much. He was so insecure back then. He had also unintentionally hurt many people because of his insecurity. Caleb's biological father was a gambling addict and an alcoholic. Before he died, Caleb spent his childhood moving constantly. He had no permanent home. He followed his submissive mother everywhere, over and over, from one city to another. Unfortunately, his poor mother never escaped his father. Caleb's biological father died from drinking. He left behind a pile of debt, crushed his mother. Caleb guessed his mother probably loved his brother more. Otherwise, she would not have left Caleb alone. She took 4-year-old Nathan and jumped into a river without a word. Caleb recounted the past calmly. They rescued my brother. They could not save my mom. My mom was gone. There was no income. I could not afford school, so I dropped out. Caleb's grades in high school were good. He was hardworking. Although he had personality flaws, he studied hard. Because he always wanted to escape his situation, to change his destiny, to stop his mother's tragedy. But his mother did not give him that chance. After reuniting with Liam, he often wondered, if he had finished high school and been lucky enough to get into a good university, would his life be closer to someone like Liam? Would his youth have been more memorable? Later, I raised my brother for 2 years. I could not afford it anymore, so I fostered him to his current parents. Caleb's Adam's apple bobbed. He turned to look out the window. He does not blame me. Caleb's tone was light, as if he did not care. But every word was heavy. Liam knew his account must have omitted many details. He has no reason to blame you, Liam said. In that situation, fostering him to a family that could afford to raise him was the best choice. Liam heard Caleb's breathing become heavier. Caleb was silent for a long time. He still looked out the window. If I could have afforded his education back then, I would never have let him take the name right. It was Saturday morning. No classes. Liam woke up later than usual. His teaching assistant called him on time. Liam opened the curtains. The bright sunlight streamed in, making him squint. Professor, are you up? I am up. Liam's voice was a bit hoarse. Okay, good. Do not forget the debate competition at 9 a.m. The assistant said on the phone. Should I come pick you up or? Liam walked out of the bedroom in his slippers. You go ahead. I will get there myself later. Okay, see you later. There was a citywide debate competition today. Liam, as a criminal law professor at North City University, was invited as a guest. Since some of the contestants were his students, Liam did not decline. Liam took a shower in the bathroom. He got ready. The electric razor seemed to be broken. It would not start even after charging all night. Liam thought about buying a new one on his way back. He found his old manual razor in the cabinet. Liam had not used a manual razor in a long time. He was out of practice. He accidentally cut his chin. Blood spread in the white shaving foam. Liam endured the stinging pain and shaved the rest. Then he washed the foam off his face. Liam tilted his chin and looked in the mirror. The cut was on his jawline. Not obvious. Breakfast was a glass of warm water and a few slices of whole wheat bread. It was not tasty, but Liam had no better options. He was not a good cook. He did not like grocery shopping. His requirement for meals was as long as it is cooked. The bread was probably a few days old. It was dry and hard. Liam drank a lot of water to wash it down. Before leaving, Liam opened his closet. He took a long time to choose a satisfactory tie. Nathan had a city-level debate competition on Saturday. He had informed Caleb early on. He hoped Caleb could be there. Caleb refused in person, but he came secretly. Caleb arrived late. The debaters were already seated on stage. Nathan was among them. He wore a black suit, looking handsome and energetic. Caleb crouched down and found a seat in the back row. The host began to speak. Caleb listened absent-mindedly for a while. Suddenly, he caught a sensitive piece of information. Next, I am honored to introduce the guests of this competition. The criminal law professor from North City University Law School, Liam. The man in the guest seat stood up after the introduction. His back was tall. Caleb saw him turn to the side. He bowed slightly to the audience. Frameless glasses, a high-nose bridge, thin lips. That side profile was indeed Liam. The audience applauded enthusiastically. A photographer ran up to Liam and took several photos. Liam was a guest, not a judge, so he had little presence. But Caleb's attention was completely on him. He had come to see Nathan, but his eyes kept drifting to where Liam was sitting. Liam sat upright, his back straight. He watched the stage intently. He held a pen in one hand. His other hand rested on the table. He occasionally looked down to write something. Caleb's attention only returned to Nathan in the second half. The North City University debate team won. Nathan was also named an outstanding debater. Perhaps it was the organizer's arrangement. Although there were more senior guests, the task of presenting the award to the North City University team fell to the young Professor Liam. Liam felt it was inappropriate. He was not happy when he went on stage. His face was expressionless. When he saw his students, he only smiled slightly. Nathan was grinning from ear to ear. His smile was very bright. He even stood closer to Liam for the photo. He smiled foolishly. Because Caleb stayed a little longer, Nathan spotted him as he was leaving. Nathan was discussing the debate with Liam. A familiar figure caught his eye. Caleb's hairstyle was too eye-catching. He was also very handsome. Like a celebrity, he stood out from the crowd. By the time Caleb wanted to leave, it was too late. Nathan waved and shouted, "Bro!" Liam turned his head, holding his notes. Caleb's attention was first drawn to his tie. It had become a reflex. Every time he saw Liam, he would look at his tie first. Liam never wore the same tie twice. The colors were not very different, but the patterns and textures were slightly different. Caleb always noticed. Nathan ran to Caleb with his certificate. "Did you not say you had something to do?" "I suddenly became free," Caleb said without changing his expression. He glanced at Liam. Liam seemed to be coming over to say hello. When Liam was 2 meters away, Caleb saw the cut on his chin. "What happened to your face?" Liam did not react. Caleb pointed to his chin and asked, "Did you cut yourself shaving?" Liam touched the small cut with his thumb. He nodded. "Yes." Caleb was not very talkative, so he said something meaningless. Electric ones are more convenient. It broke, so I used a manual one. The venue was noisy. Caleb vaguely heard someone calling for Nathan in the crowd. Nathan, Mr. and Mrs. Wright squeezed through the crowd. Mr. Wright held a bouquet of flowers. They were both beaming, but their expressions became a little unnatural when they saw Caleb. Dad, Mom, why are you here? Of course, to watch your competition. Mr. Wright gently patted his head. He put the crudely wrapped bouquet in his arms. Your mom bought you flowers. Nathan had asthma and was allergic to pollen. His mother bought him a bouquet of cotton. It was white and fluffy, very cute. Nathan still looked a bit dazed. He took the flowers and a smile gradually appeared on his face. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. His mother's gaze shifted to Caleb. Caleb said politely, Mrs. Right? His mother nodded slightly. You are here too, Mr. Wright quickly introduced Liam to his wife. Susan, this is Nathan's professor, Professor Liam. His mother wore old-fashioned glasses. Her words and actions were also very elegant. She had the air of an intellectual. Professor Liam, hello. Hello. Liam sensed a certain distance in her tone when she spoke to Caleb. Mr. and Mrs. Wright's attitude towards Caleb was similar. Polite but with a sense of distance. And his mother was even more so. She seemed unwilling to talk to Caleb much. Of course, it was also possible that she was just a quiet person. I won prize money. I am treating everyone to dinner tonight. Nathan held up the red envelope and announced, Professor, you should come with us. His mother was the first to object. You spend money as soon as you get it. Save it for living expenses. One meal will not cost much. Mom will treat. Liam shook his head. No, thank you. Caleb received several messages. He looked down at his phone. He heard his adoptive mother's gentle voice. Caleb, what about you? Caleb looked up and shook his head almost subconsciously. I have something to do. Cannot go. Nathan did not say anything. He just stared at Caleb, his brow furrowed. In a moment, his brow relaxed. He said in a complaining tone, How come you always have something to do? You think I am like you? Caleb replied bluntly, My schedule is very full too. Nathan yelled like a ruffled cat. All right, let's go. His mother took his arm. What do you want to eat? She walked forward with Nathan, then paused. As if she had just remembered to say goodbye to Caleb. She turned her head and said, Caleb, we are leaving now. She nodded at Liam. Professor Liam, goodbye. Goodbye. Mr. Wright patted Caleb's shoulder, then followed. They disappeared into the crowd. They walked towards the exit, laughing and talking. Liam saw Nathan's adoptive mother hold her son's arm tightly. He saw Mr. Wright's thick, rough hand ruffle Nathan's hair. Liam had taught so many students and met so many people. He could see the subconscious rejection of Caleb by Mr. and Mrs. Wright. And he understood this rejection was not one-sided. Because Caleb himself did not try to get close to them. Caleb stared at the crowd for a few seconds. Liam did not know what he was looking at. Maybe Nathan. Maybe nothing. Liam did not feel sorry for Caleb. He just suddenly felt the cut on his chin hurt again. Manual razors were really not good. And stale whole wheat bread was hard to swallow. The status quo did not have to remain unchanged. He could try to change some things. Caleb could too. Caleb turned his head. Do you want to marry me? Caleb was stunned. Marry me. Form a family. Caleb looked at him in disbelief. Caleb's curly hair fell over his long eyelashes. It trembled as he blinked. Liam brushed the strand of hair away. He said, I am not joking. Can I think about it? Caleb felt like he had been hit on the head. His thoughts were jumbled. Yes. Caleb lowered his head, as if he were thinking. The funny thing was, he did not think for long before giving an answer. He still had his head down. Okay. The debate venue was noisy. People came and went around Caleb. Liam's voice was drowned out by the noise. It became faint. Caleb later recalled the situation. He thought he had misheard, or his memory was faulty. They did not talk further. Liam was called away by his assistant. Let's talk later. Caleb nodded in a daze. But Liam did not contact Caleb later that day. Caleb did not know when later was. Liam's marriage proposal was a huge shock to Caleb. He was distracted all day. He ended up canceling all his appointments and went home early. Caleb rarely went to bed early. He did not sleep well. He woke up in the middle of the night and poured himself half a glass of red wine. He checked his phone, 11:30 p.m. Liam had not called. No messages either. Caleb sat on the sofa with his wine glass. He felt inexplicably anxious. If he did not hear from Liam today, he probably would not be able to sleep all night. Caleb, who could not hold back, called Liam. The phone rang for 2 seconds before Caleb hung up. He drank the wine in his glass. He thought about it and decided to contact Liam tomorrow. He did not want to disturb his rest. Caleb got up to wash the wine glass in the kitchen. His phone suddenly rang. He looked down and saw it was Liam. Caleb put the wine glass on the coffee table. He answered the call. Liam's voice was low. He sounded tired. Caleb, what is it? Did I wake you? No, I am still awake. Liam closed his laptop. He took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. I thought you were asleep. I still have some things to finish. Perhaps it was the alcohol. Caleb felt a wave of heat. He lowered the AC temperature. He poured more wine into his glass. Professor Liam, I need to confirm something with you. Go on. You mentioned marriage today, right? A soft laugh came from the phone. Yes. You agreed. Are you having second thoughts? I am afraid you are having second thoughts. Caleb did not know why Liam suddenly proposed marriage. Nor did he understand why he had agreed without thinking. Professor Liam, you do not know me. Liam said we can get to know each other now. Caleb wanted to say they could talk in person later. But then he thought about his unimpressive resume and background. So he decided to close the distance with Liam on this sleepless night. My parents died a long time ago. I only have a brother with a different last name. I did not finish high school. I did not go to college. I am not very educated. Caleb paused and mentioned what he thought was most important. And I smoke. Caleb was sure Liam did not smoke. He knew smoking was bad, but quitting was too difficult for him. Liam was silent for a few seconds. Caleb guessed his rationality had returned. About the marriage, Caleb said, you can think about it again. I already thought about it at the debate. Liam put on his glasses and walked out of the study. Smoking. Cannot quit. Caleb said first. I have tried many times. I could not do it. Liam's tone was like a teacher's. That is because you are not strict enough with yourself. Caleb now suspected Liam might back out because of the smoking. But Liam was very tolerant. I know you smoke. After we get married, I will help you quit. Caleb had not expected Liam to be thinking about post-marriage plans. His mood was not as anxious anymore. A sense of peace filled his heart. Caleb drank the last of his wine. He said in a hoarse voice, Professor Liam, I am not very educated. We might not have common interests in the future. We might have all kinds of conflicts. Liam said, when that time comes, I hope you will be willing to accommodate me. Caleb was stunned for a moment. His throat felt dry. Why do you want to marry me? Caleb still asked this question. He could probably guess some of it. Liam was the type who was cold on the outside but warm on the inside. He was self-disciplined and had high standards for himself, but he was easily soft-hearted towards others. He had a compassionate nature. Caleb did not dislike his compassionate nature. He even found it charming. Liam would not sacrifice his own marriage out of pity for him. Liam's compassion had principles. He pursued mutual happiness. What about you? Why did you agree to marry me? Liam was very good at controlling the conversation. He easily turned the tables. Caleb answered truthfully. I like you. Liam said, you will know why slowly. Liam also talked about his own situation. He told Caleb his mother was an architect. His father was a hospital director. He would retire in 3 years. They also discussed their financial situations. Overall, Caleb was wealthier than Liam. Liam had a respectable job, but he did not earn a lot of money. They decided to discuss other trivial matters later. The most important thing now was that Liam had not discussed the marriage with his parents. This matter. Should you discuss it with your parents? I will tell them. Liam took off his watch. He saw that it was getting late. He said, it is late. Should you not be sleeping? Caleb mumbled a Liam had noticed his speech was a bit slurred. His speaking speed was also a bit slow. He asked, have you been drinking? A little. Caleb rubbed his sore eyes. I could not sleep.